Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a blessed week. Mine's been a little bit challenging. As you all know, I posted 2 videos last Saturday, and one of them got pulled. And it got pulled on my Dark Forces, which is my main channel, and also on the Pastor Bob NCC, which is the backup channel. They pulled the video from both those channels, and on the Dark Forces channel, I got a strike, and they locked me out of that channel for a week. And the Pastor Bob, they just pulled it and gave me a warning. So what it was, I was talking a little bit about the vaccine. And they sent me an email, and this is what they told me. They said that you cannot contradict the government stance on any subject. On any subject, it doesn't matter what it is, you cannot contradict what the government is saying. And I contradicted what the World Health Organization was saying, which is part of the government. So I also posted that video on BitChute, Rumble, and the Utah Gun Exchange, which is my 3 alternate channels. And they didn't say anything about the video. It's still up on all 3 of those channels. So what I'm going to do with YouTube is I'm not going to do anything political whatsoever. I am only going to preach the gospel on YouTube, which is what I should probably be doing anyway. But if I make any other videos that are political in nature, or if I say anything that contradicts the government standing on the subject, it'll only be on those other 3 channels. So anyway, listen, I wanted to talk to you about a guy that was nuts. And we're taking our scripture from Mark 5:1. And they came over to the other side of the sea unto the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him a man out of the tombs, a man with an unclean spirit. People, this guy was so fierce that no one could contain him. And here was this cemetery up on the hill, and there were probably a couple of roads that went through the area. And then Jesus got out of the boat all the way down at the sea. Well, this guy obviously controlled everything from the cemetery, the hills around it, clear down to the sea, and no one messed with this guy. I mean, they had chained him up before, and he broke the chains like they were nothing. So this guy, he was extremely strong, and no one messed with the guy at all. The only one that didn't fear him was Jesus. So anyway, when the guy got close to Jesus, all the demons started hollering out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to torment us before the time?" And Jesus cast them out. And there were literally over 1,000 demons in this guy, and some say 2,000. So the demons didn't want to leave the area, so they asked to go into these pigs. And so he led them, and they ran into the pigs. The pigs ran down the hill into the water and killed themselves, because obviously there was something in them that they didn't want. So anyway, that's where the story takes up to this time. So we go on to verse 16 and 17. It says, "And they that saw it told them how it befell him that was possessed of the devil, and also concerning the swine. And they began to pray him to depart out of their coasts." So in other words, the minute this happened, Jesus drives the demons out of this guy. They go into the pigs run down the hill and get killed. Everybody goes into the towns and says, "Hey, listen, you know the guy that is possessed? Well, this guy, Jesus, came and cast out the devils. They went into these pigs. Now all the pigs are dead." And so the people come running out, and they see the guy clothed and in his right mind. And what do? They don't say, "Lord, thank you. Man, we can finally go to the cemetery again. We can pass by this area in safety." No, they didn't say that. They said, "Get out of our country." They wanted nothing to do with him, and they didn't want him in their land, in their cities. Go away. We would rather have the demons than lose any more pigs. That's exactly what their mentality was. But here's the key part of this scripture. "And when he was come to the ship," so Jesus went down to the ship and was getting ready to leave. "So when he was come to the ship, he that had been possessed of the devil prayed him that he might be with him." In other words, that guy went down to the ship with Jesus and said, "Lord, listen, I know what you've done for me. can I come with you? That's what he asked. Howbeit Jesus suffered him not, but said unto him, Go home to thy friends, and tell them how great things the Lord has done unto thee, and how he had compassion on these. People, listen. This is probably the only guy in the Bible, I can't think of any others, I could be wrong, but I think this might be the only guy in the Bible that asked Jesus if he could come with him, and Jesus said no. What does Jesus say to everybody else? He says, pick up your cross and come follow me. Not this guy. This guy, he said, you can't come with me. I want you to go back, and I want you to tell all your friends and family everything that God has done for you. And this place, Decapolis, where he was from, Deca means 10, Capolis means city. It was an area with 10 villages was where he came from. Now look at verse 20, because this is key. It says, and he departed and began to publish in Decapolis, in other words, in all 10 cities, how great things Jesus had done for him, and all men did marvel. Now listen, try to get this. He goes down to the boat with Jesus and says, can I come with you? And Jesus says, no, you can't. I want you to go back to those 10 cities, and I want you to tell everyone what God has done for you. Well, then Jesus leaves. In other words, they don't know what this guy did. They don't know if he just sat there on the shore, and they don't know what he did. Jesus and the disciples leave, but then later on, Mark, who wrote this, they got news that, hey, that guy that you cast out all those demons, remember the guy with the pigs? He's been evangelizing all 10 of those cities. Because it says in 20, and he departed and began to publish in Decapolis how great things Jesus had done for him. So they got word later, maybe a year later, that this guy was doing just exactly what Jesus told him to do. You know why Jesus did that? Because after killing the pigs, Jesus wasn't welcome there anymore. He was not welcome in those 10 cities. So he sent this guy back to do what they wouldn't allow him to do. People, listen. This is why we're going over this story. God has placed you in this time. The year 2021. You are alive right now. God placed you here. He placed you in your family, amongst your friends, in your neighborhood. He did that because, people, listen to me. There are people in your life that only you can reach. Nobody else can reach them. Just you. And that's why God put you in their life. There are people in your family that only you can reach. No one else can reach them. That's why God put you in that family. People, listen. Jesus tells us, each and every one of us, exactly what he told this demon-possessed man. Go back. Tell your family and friends all the things that Jesus has done for you. This guy did it. He did exactly what Jesus told him to do. And I can just imagine that a year later, maybe 2 years later, Jesus gets word. Hey, you remember that guy with the demons and the pigs? Man, he evangelized all 10 of them cities. You wouldn't believe that place now. People, Jesus is telling us to do the exact same thing. I just want to give you all something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.